Hey, low riders, it's me again, and I'm here to speak about Kimmy Scott Grant, or Kimmy Grant Scott, whatsoever her name is. Okay, out the gate, it seems like she was shading Melody from season 1, episode 1. She was shading Melody, saying that she thought her life was perfect. I don't think Melody thought her life was perfect because she was having those hard conversations with her husband behind closed doors. Everything is not meant for everybody's ears and eyes, Kimmy. She is not responsible for telling you her life story. And if she wants to tell you her life story, she will do it in her time. I think that the little snide digs and comments that you and your husband made from season 1 out the gate shows that you actually didn't like Melody to begin with. You didn't try to get to know Melody Shari, the person. You made up a story in your own head about her based on what y'all did with businesses. And the bottom line is Melody was about business and y'all was jittling and jiving around and fucking around. And she said, fuck it, I got to move forward. I got to do what I got to do to put food on my table and to put money in my bank account. In the interim, you're too busy talking about her instead of trying to possibly learn a few things from her. You know, with all your degrees and everything, you don't know everything. And Melody doesn't know everything. But I think 2 people, 3 people, 4 people or more coming together as a group to talk to one another and learn from one another is a great thing. But it seemed like you fight it and you fought it every step of the way because you don't want Melody to shine. You've called her bougie, snotty, allegedly, and in my opinion, you said things that me as a girlfriend or a potential girlfriend would not say to another woman. You know, if I'm in your corner, if I do think negatively about you, it would only be to myself. And if there's something that you're doing, I'm going to bring it to you, specifically you, your attention. I'm not going to bring it to the public. I'm not going to bring it to someone else. I'm going to bring it directly to you and see how we can figure that out. But for some reason, you haven't learned how to do that. So you've made assumptions about Melody throughout these 900 seasons of Love and Marriage Huntsville that I don't like. And my main is your alliance to fucking Martel Holt. And I have written something down, and I'm going to be reading from it, so I will not be looking at the camera, but I want y'all to understand how I feel about Kimmy. This is what I wrote down. Kimmy Grant Scott's decision to align herself with Martel Holt, despite his history of abusive behavior towards Melody Shari Rogers, is deeply troubling and reflects a complex dynamic of loyalty, betrayal, and denial. It's disheartening to witness Kimmy, a Black woman, prioritize her allegiance to Martel over her duty to support and uplift her fellow sister, Melody Shari Rogers. And I firmly believe that the reason Kimmy is experiencing whatever bullshit she thinks she is experiencing with Maurice is because she hasn't learned how to, first of all, tell him what she wants. And she's looking at someone else's relationship to dictate how her own relationship should be. But she's not taking into consideration any of the bullshit that Melody has gone through with Martel Holt to try and show any type of compassion toward Melody at all. And by choosing to side with Martel, Kimmy inadvertently perpetuates a culture that excuses and enables abusive behavior, particularly within intimate relationships. Her reluctance to hold Martel accountable for his actions not only undermines the seriousness of domestic abuse, but also sends a harmful message to survivors like myself that their experiences are invalidated and dismissed. We don't like that, Kimmy. We don't like that at all. You know, you're trying to pretend that you are a friend and an ally of Melody while broadly supporting Martel in all of his behaviors. I mean, it's like everything he does, it's like you just sit there and say, well, you know, it's Martel. It's going to be okay. It's Martel. Fuck that. Martel is an international fuck up. And you see it. You see it playing out on TV. You've seen it played out for the last 6 years. But yet, Kimmy, you have yet to acknowledge anything that Melody Shari Rogers has gone through or is going through. And until you recognize that you have not been a supportive sister, maybe things in your life are not going to work out as you think they should. Also, I want you to stop talking to us like we 2 years old, okay? Just because you're older than the rest of them does not make you more intelligent or more wise or more anything. You're just like the rest of them. You're learning how to navigate the waters of business, new marriage, because yes, it's still a new marriage, and all in between. You are not an expert at anything in regards to that. You may be an expert at nursing, real estate, and whatever else it is that you do. But in regards to relationships, I don't think you're an expert. I also think you were the other woman. I really, really, and truly do think that you were the other woman. Because as I was listening to the conversation with Kiowa about her and Maurice were working on their marriage when you swooped in. She didn't use those words. Those are my words. And I'm saying allegedly and in my opinion. But when you swooped in, you know, this woman was fighting for her marriage and you were fighting for a younger man or whatever it was that you were fighting for. You weren't secure enough in yourself to allow them to do what was needed to possibly salvage and save their marriage. You were only thinking about yourself at that time. Well, now you got the prize. You got the man that she had. And it seems like you're not too happy with that. You know, like you were saying, Melody portrays that they have such a perfect marriage. You are literally trying to do the same thing. Trying to portray that your marriage is so perfect, except for the fact that Maurice asked for a lot of sex. Woohoo, your husband asked you for sex. I understand when you were sick. I'm sorry that you were sick and you had to go through that. But you made the choice to do these things and share them with the public. And then you want to whine about it and talk about how bad your family was embarrassed. Your damn family wasn't fucking embarrassed. Stop that lie, okay? You just wanted to have a moment and it didn't land for me. Because I'm watching you on this television show try to pretend that you're giving such sage information or sage advice to these young women, and nothing you're saying is making any sense. I'm 64 years old, and nothing you're saying makes any sense to me. I need you to stop trying to be a psychiatrist and something else, or whatever it is that you're trying to be, and how about you try to be a friend? You know what I'm saying? I also believe that you are the biggest reason why Melody and Letitia are no longer friends. Because you came in and decided that Letitia should not listen to anything that Melody is saying to her because Melody has her own issues with Martel. It wasn't your place to say that. You should have told Letitia, hey, girl, if you think that what Mel is giving you is some good advice, go ahead and listen to what she has to say. Maybe she got something for all of us. You know what I'm saying? You know, do that girl talk or what have you. But you literally placed yourself in between this long-term friendship of sorority sisters and true friends. And look at where we're at now. And then you want to talk crap about Letitia as well. You know, you divided and separated. And now you're sitting there pointing fingers at both of them and taking the side of Martell Holt, who from season 1, episode 1, thought that he was the man that can do it all because he had Melody by his side. Great. Look what happened to him once Melody was no longer by his side. He spiraled out of control. And you are still sitting there. Well, you know, Martell's a really good guy, and he's gonna be okay. And shut the fuck up, Kimmy, okay? Because you be getting on my nerves. Stop dropping shit on people that you don't want dropped on you. Because you get all in your feelings when the content creators talk about you, but this is what you are displaying on national TV. You know what I'm saying? This is the behaviors that you are displaying on international TV, pretending that you are above everything. Your marriage is perfect. You got to do what you got to do to sex your husband when he wants to be sexed and all that other nonsense. Girl. You are a phony. A PHONY, all caps. You are a phony. And the sooner you get to learn who Kimmy is, because I don't think you know who you are. You know, you've done a lot of things, but I really don't think that you know who you are. First of all, you waited 8 years for a man to marry you. Fuck that. Part of that had to do with him still being married, allegedly, and in my opinion. And I firmly believe that you wiggled your way into his heart to pull him away from his family. That is my belief, my opinion. Okay? I just think that you try too hard and you're not showing a true loyalty. Every time Melody walks in the room, it seems like you squirm inside, but you try to count on your cuteness or your prettiness or everything else that Maurice has been telling you to get you over the hump. You are no competition anywhere near the type of woman that Melody Shari Rogers is, because you have chosen to back a man who is blatantly disrespectful, shows up at all events he's not invited to, making scenes, and the only thing you can say is, oh, well, Martell. Girl, stop it. Stop it. And furthermore, your attempts to justify Martell's disrespect and bad behavior only serve to perpetuate a cycle of victim blaming and rationalization. I can't stand it. I can't stand it. I can't stand it. You know, you are a black woman not supporting another black woman being abused, while at the same time, one could consider you in a somewhat abusive relationship based on the bullshit you tell us about how much Maurice wants sex and you don't want to do it, and then you got to do this because you want to please your man and all this other nonsense that makes absolutely no sense. You know, it seems to me that you are a very insecure woman, and your way of making yourself feel better is to put down Melody and Letitia and anyone else who you think doesn't have a perfect marriage like yours. Well, let's look at your marriage. Is it really perfect? Is it? You're still insecure about his ex-wife. So is your marriage perfect, Kimmy? Is it? Is it? Okay, I want to know. Okay. Now that I'm off that little rant, what I need for Kimmy to do is to fall back, leave Melody Shari Rogers alone, because if you're not going to be a friend to her, an ally to her, then you're a bum. Pretty much. You're a bum. You know what I'm saying? This woman has gone out of her way to make you feel good all the time, coming into your home, bringing you gifts and so forth and so on, planning parties for you, all the things that she's done to make you be a part of her world. you have basically rejected by taking Martel's side. And I don't think I'm going to ever forgive you for that, number one. And number two, I don't like you, Kimmy. I don't. I tried to like you. But once you interjected yourself between Melody and Letitia's friendship, and I listened to all the content creators and all the nasty things they say about Letitia, but everybody forget about the catalyst, you, Kimmy Scott Grant, or Kimmy Grant Scott, that was instrumental in breaking that friendship apart and keeping it apart, and then telling the world, well, Letitia says I have to pick a side. No, it was you who quietly told her that she needed to pick a side and not to be engaging with Melody. And that's why you didn't have too much to say when they were fighting, and you wanted to be on good terms with Melody because you wanted Melody to continue talking to you and giving you tea. So you could take it back to Letitia and say, see, I told you, girl. I told you she wasn't your friend. I told you she wasn't your friend. No, you're not a friend, Kimmy. You're not a friend. And I'm really disappointed in you and your behaviors toward your sister-in-law, one, and Melody Shari Rogers, who has been nothing but gracious and nice and wonderful to you. Okay, I'm going to stop talking about you because I think I'm getting pissed off. But you know what? I'm going to probably do a part 2 about you because I got an attitude and I need to woosah and calm down right now. So I'm going to say goodbye. Low riders, thanks for riding with me. Please click, like, share, comment. I welcome all criticism, and I'll see you soon.